The floor package was delivered yesterday, meaning the TGIs and the beams, and check out what 2 guys can do in just 1 day. Oh, I love this. Check it out. All the ledgers are in place, bolted to the concrete foundation. The hangers are in place. All the beams are in place. TGIs are dropped into the hangers. I love it. It's starting to look like a basement. The framers are now well underway with getting the basement capped off. As you can see, the plywood's starting to cover the spaces. Now, as they're moving upwards of the build, I like to do a lot of preparation in the basement for the upcoming trades. First of all, let's keep the basement area clean from all debris, the tripping hazards, and it's just more pleasant to work in a clean area. So one of the things that we should expect coming up is the application of the rigid insulation against the foundation wall. Now, normally it will sit flat against the wall like that, nice and flat, full contact of the insulation against the surface of the concrete. However, you'll see here where the form boards met, a bit of concrete spewed out, so causing this to happen. So all we need to do is grind it down flat, so everything becomes nice and flat, and we'll have the insulation in full contact with the surface of the foundation, allowing it to do its job. Some of the areas, just have a look at this corner here, especially in these kind of situations. This is where you really want to get this concrete all nice and grinded out of the way, nice and flush, so the insulation can just butt right up against there. You see right now, they can't even reach. So we'll have to clean this up, get a nice square corner, and the insulation will fit perfectly. Now here's a good practice I like to apply to all my houses. Do you remember in a couple of videos ago we talked about the discharge pipe or the sanitary pipe that connects all the waste from the toilets and sinks out to the city? Well, what happens when that pipe gets plugged? You would call the Roto-Rooter guy, they'll bring this big stinky machine into your house, he'll remove your toilet, he'll snake out the pipe, you know, they walk in with their shoes on, all sorts of stuff like that. Well, how could you avoid that? How about doing it from the outside? Now see this Y connector here? This is one thing I definitely would recommend putting in all the houses, is connect the Y pipe here. Notice that this goes straight into the discharge pipe, and guess what? You can now clean out any plugs in your plumbing line from the outside of your house without letting in all that mess into your house. Now the only limitation is that the blockage must take place somewhere between this clean out to where it connects to the city. Now, in the event that you do have a blockage from inside the house, well, you'll have to just snake it out the normal way. But nevertheless, this provides you an option to first troubleshoot whether or not the blockage is from here, and therefore eliminating the need to bring in all that stinky gear inside your house. So we're standing on the main floor. I just want to show you how the plywood gets fastened to the TGIs and the beams. First of all, the tops of the TGIs and the beams get coated with some adhesive. And just take a look at this plywood. Pretty standard stuff, 5/8 T&G or tongue and groove. Note one side's got a tongue, one side's got a groove. What happens is once one side is fastened down, the second piece just gets pushed in like that. And what happens, it helps the floor from separating, keeping it nice and uniform, and the glue is there to stop it from squeaking. But look at that beautiful mountain view. I can't wait to see what's in store for us once we get to the rooftop.